Yes, good morning, students. We have discussed in the last class about the set of instructions that are available in a basic computer and the instruction code format. And the next topic is instruction cycle. So group of instructions is called a program through which computers are instructed to perform some operation. Program is a sequence of instructions stored in memory, and program is executed in the computer by going through a cycle for each instruction. Okay, the execution of each instruction in a program involves a set of series of steps that need to be repeated. Okay, each instruction execution involves some series of steps that are repeated. Okay, each instruction is subdivided into sequence of sub-cycles or phases. Okay, every instruction, if you take, the execution of instruction are divided into different phases. The different phases of this instruction cycle are first is fetch an instruction from memory. Okay, we need to fetch the instruction from memory for execution and decode the instruction. Decoding the instruction is to find the meaning of the instruction, right? Meaning of the operation. What is the operation to be executed? And the third step is read the effective address from memory if the instruction has an indirect address. Okay, if it is the address in the instruction code is direct address, the address present would be effective address, means the directly, if you check in that particular location, memory location, we find the operand, correct? That can be fetched. Or if it is indirect address, if the address type is indirect address, the address we find in the address field of instruction code will not be a direct address or effective address. Okay, so we need to read the effective address from memory. And the final step is, once the effective address of the operand is known, we can execute the instruction. Okay, so these are the different phases of instruction cycle. Fetch an instruction from memory, decode the instruction, read the effective address from memory if the instruction has an indirect address, and the fourth step is execute the instruction. These four steps, repeats indefinitely unless a halt instruction is encountered. Halt is to stop the execution. Here, if we take the first step, fetch the instruction and decode the instruction, fetching and decoding. The micro operations involved in these two phases are AR, replacement operator, PC. That means transfer the content of PC into register AR. AR is our address register. So first process is to fetch. Let's take fetch the instruction first. And the second step is decode. To fetch the instruction, you need to know the address, from which particular location we need to fetch the instruction. That address would be the address of the instruction, that is to be fetched from memory for execution, would be available in PC, right? We learned this. Program counter is a counter or the register that holds the address of the next instruction to be executed. So we find the address in PC that we are storing, transferring into the address register AR at time T0. Every process happens in a clock cycle. So timing signal is T0. When T0 is 1, this operation is performed. And the second micro operation is we need to take the memory word from this address AR. AR has the address of the instruction now. Now take that word and store it in instruction register. Because instruction need to be stored in IR, the instruction register, that so that it can be executed. So the instruction from the address AR, AR is our address in memory where the instruction code is available. So fetch that memory word, from memory and store it in IR. At the same time, increment PC. PC is PC plus 1 because program counter, once the current instruction is fetched, program counter should point to the next instruction. Okay, so for that, to point to the next location in memory, it is incremented. PC is PC plus 1. Okay, these two operations perform fetch, to fetch an instruction from memory. Okay, and finally you will get the instruction in the register IR. Okay, IR will have the instruction once it is fetched from memory. Okay, we are taking the address from PC into AR, and from memory address AR, okay, transferring the instruction into register IR. So IR will have the instruction and PC is incremented because it has to point to the next instruction. And at time T2, okay, the second phase is decode. Okay, we are seeing here in this fetch and decode phases, the first two phases. So the second phase is decode. Okay, for decoding, what we do, the operation code has to be decoded, correct? Operation code will be available in this instruction register. We have the instruction. So in IR, take the positions 12 to 14. Okay, the 3 bits 12, 13 and 14 where operation code is found, and decode that. Okay, decode this, and okay, you get it decoded, okay, into D0 to D7. Okay, we have seen the circuit also, right? Okay, this is the decoding process. Here is our instruction code, and operation code is found from bits 12 to 14. Okay, 12 to 14, and this is given to the decoder that decodes the operation, okay, and gives as output, okay, as D0 to D7, the 8 operations. Okay, 3 bits are used to represent 8 operations. The first fetch phase, okay, involves these two micro operations. At time T0 and T1, okay, it is performed, and T2, at time T2, the decode, okay, instruction is decoded. Okay, for that we have, this is our instruction code that has the opcode, the operation in, okay, operation to be performed in 12 to 14 bits. The 3 bits need to be decoded. Okay, so those 3 bits are decoded, and you get the output from the decoder D0 to D7 that represents 8 different operations. Okay, and the address bits 0 to 11 of the instruction register need to be stored in address register. Okay, every time the address of the instruction in memory or address of the operand in memory need to be moved to AR for fetching it from the memory. So the address stored in 0 to 11, we are moving to AR. And the third micro operation here in decode phase is moving the 15th bit. 15th bit represent the address type. The value may be 0 or 1. That is moved to register I, okay, for finding the type of the address. Okay, these are the 3 micro operations: decoding the operation and storing the address in AR and getting the 15th bit, okay, address type in register I. So here the register transfers for fetch phase. Okay, it is explained using this diagram here. If you remember, we have drawn this diagram, correct? It is, so here we have drawn this, the memory unit, then address register, how these registers are connected to the common bus for transferring information between the registers and memory. Okay, the same diagram we have taken here. Okay, this is the same diagram with T0 and T1, the timing signals included. Okay, and these are the micro operations that are performed. At time T0, transferring the content of PC, the program counter. Okay, we are moving it to AR, address register, and from that particular AR, from that address in memory, we are storing the instruction in our instruction register IR, and PC is incremented. Okay, so here we show these operations. And so that as these are controlled by this control signals T0 and T1, we have included T0 and T1 in this, okay? So for performing the first operation, at time T0 moving PC to AR, the content of PC need to be placed on the bus, making the control signals, okay, to the bus S2, S1 and S0. These are all the control signals that controls the selection of the registers, right? Okay, so by setting the value in the control signals S2, S1 and S0, 0, 1, 0, that is 2, correct? This is the second input 2 to the bus. Okay, so by setting these values S2, S1 and S0, 0, 1, 0, the content of PC is placed onto the bus. Okay, and the second step involved in this micro operation, okay, for moving the content of PC to AR is we need to transfer this content that is placed in the bus to AR. Okay, that is done by enabling the load input. Okay, enabling the load input of AR. Okay, that is why to enable that we have connected this T0. So when T0 is active, when the timing signal T0 is active, when T0 becomes 1, okay, the result of this OR gate is 1. So the load input will be active and the content of the bus, it is placed in AR. Okay, this is how this first operation is performed. And to do this second operation, this is our second operation. Okay, it has two steps. First step is transferring the content of memory into IR, fetching the instruction from memory. So the memory read input need to be active. So we need to enable the read input of memory at time T1, when T1 is active. Okay, this happens at time T1. So when T1 is active, when the value of T1 is 1, okay, this OR gate generates 1 and this read input will be active. Okay, so when this read is enabled, the content of memory will be placed onto the bus by enabling this. Okay, the selection inputs S2, S1 and S0, 1, 1, 1. This is 7. Okay, the input 7 to the bus is memory. Okay, memory output. So here we set the, by setting this S2, S1, S0, 1, the instruction is placed onto the bus and it gets transferred to IR. Okay, now what does need to be done? The load input of this IR need to be active. Okay, so here if you see, if you observe this, T1 is connected to memory and PC and IR. Okay, the load input when it is active, when T1 is 1, okay, it is 1. This load input will become active and the IR can be loaded with the input, the instruction from memory. Okay, that is placed in the bus can be loaded into the instruction register IR. Okay, that is this operation. And the second micro operation involved in this step is PC is PC plus 1. Okay, so this PC need to be incremented. Okay, this is done by enabling the INR input increment operation. Okay, it is also connected to T1. So when T1 is active, when T1 is 1, the result of this OR gate is 1. So INR increment input is active. So PC gets incremented by 1. Okay, this way these micro operations are performed. And after these steps are done, okay, after doing this, what is the third step we saw here? The decode phase, correct? The second phase is decode phase. So decode is, we take the operation code, part of the instruction, and it is given to the decoder and it is operation is decoded. And how we determine the type of the instruction. Okay, we have seen the instruction formats, correct? The three types of instructions are memory reference instructions, register reference instructions, and input output instructions. Okay, and for memory reference instructions, we have seen that the last bit I can be 0 or 1, correct? And opcode, the value of opcode varies from 000 to 110. And for register reference instruction, I is always 0. You need to remember this. For register reference instructions, I is always 0 and opcode is always 111. For IO instructions, I is always 1 and opcode is 111. Okay, so here this flowchart shows this operations. Whatever we have discussed until now or are shown in these steps. One minute, let me check the attendance and come. Yes, listen. So here initially SC need to be set to 0. Okay, SC is the sequence counter that generates the timing signals T0, T1, okay, T2. The operations are, it can be cleared to 0 so that it generates T0. Okay, it starts counting from T0, or it can be, if not cleared, it can be incremented. Okay, by default, the default operation of SC is incrementing by 1. Okay, and so it generates T0, T1, T2, etc. up to T15. And otherwise, if clear signal is given, it clears to 0 and generates T0. Okay, and the first operation, what we have seen in the fetch phase. Okay, these two are the micro operations involved in fetch phase. And this is the operation involved in decode phase. Okay, decoding the operation, what we have discussed now. And here this part is to determine the type of the instruction. We need to determine the instruction, if the instruction is of memory reference type, or if it is a register reference instruction or IO instruction. Okay, for that we check this D7. The decoder output is from D0 to D7. Okay, what is D7? What is D0? It is 0, 0, 0. When the inputs opcode are 0, 0, 0, it is 0. Okay, the result D0, okay, means it represents 0, one particular operation. And when it is 0, 0, 1, it is 1. 0, 1, 0, it is 2. 0, 1, 1 is 3. 1, 1, 0 is 6. Okay, this is D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, and D6. Okay, so these operations denotes the memory reference instruction. Okay, when the opcode is 111, we say that the instruction is register reference or IO instruction. That depends on the bit I. If bit I is 0, it is register reference instruction, or if bit I is 1, it is IO instruction. So D7 is 1 for register reference and IO instructions. It is 0 for memory reference instruction. Okay, we don't include this D7 here for memory reference instruction. Okay, so D7 is 0 for memory reference. So now we are checking here in the flowchart D7. The bit D7 is the decoder output D7 is checked. If it is 0, that means it is a memory reference instruction. Or if it is 1, it may be register instruction or input output instruction. So let's come to this part, memory reference instruction. If decoder output is D7 is 0, it is memory reference instruction. And now we check the ith bit. Okay, because to find, you need to find if it is direct address or indirect address. I can be 0 or 1. If it is 0, it is direct address. So in this case, when it is 0, we don't need to do anything because we already have the effective address in AR. Okay, we have already, you can observe this step. Instruction register 0 to 11 bits of instruction register are moved to AR. So now AR already has the address. That is effective address. Okay, because the address used is direct address. We don't need to do anything. We can directly execute. And when I is 1 for memory reference instruction, that means it is indirect. Okay, the address used is indirect. What we need to do is we need to find the effective address from the given address. Okay, the address specified now the address stored in AR is not effective address. Okay, so we need to get that address, effective address. Effective address is stored in memory address. Okay, so we move that to AR. So after this operation, AR will have the effective address. So this process is done at time T3. And at time T4, once this AR has the effective address, we execute the memory reference instruction. Okay, the operation is decoded now, and we have the effective address in AR. Okay, now the instruction is ready to be executed. So at time T4, by default, okay, sequence counter gets incremented for every process. Here, if you see in the beginning, it is T0, first step. And then we don't need to explicitly write the statement SC is equal to SC plus 1. Correct? We have seen it yesterday, sequence counter, by default, it increments by 1. Okay, if it has to be cleared, we need to write, okay, clear SC. We need to write the statement SC is 0. Otherwise, if this statement is not written, okay, it by default increments, okay, the value by 1. So here SC is incremented, so we get T1 in the next step. And SC is incremented, so we get the timing signal T2. And here it is incremented by 1. So here the next processing step, if you see T3, we have, okay, these steps at time T3. Okay, and the next step is execution is done at time T4. So once the execution is done, SC is cleared. Okay, here it is written SC is 0. So now SC is cleared because one instruction is completed now. Now the same process has to be repeated for the next instruction. Okay, so SC need to be cleared to 0 to start again from T0. Okay, and this other case of okay, when this D7 is 1, that refers that the instruction is register reference instruction or IO instruction. Now, how we identify that if it is register reference or IO instruction? By checking the bit I. If it is 1, it is IO instruction. Okay, or if I is 0, it is register reference instruction. Okay, so in this case, if it is 0, it is register reference instruction. So we execute the register reference instruction and clear the sequence counter to start from T0. Okay, and when the bit I is 1, it is IO instruction. Okay, execute the IO instruction and clear the sequence counter to 0. Okay, this way we determine the type of the instruction by checking the decoder output D7. If D7 is 0, it is memory reference instruction, and decoder output D7 will be 1 for register reference and IO instruction. And then we check the ith bit, okay, to find if it is register reference or memory reference instruction. And once this process is over, SE is clear to 0. And these process, okay, these steps are repeated for every instruction. So the control go back to the first step, okay, taking the address from PC and storing it in AR, moving it to the address register AR. Okay, control goes to that step and SE is cleared. So again, the timing starts from T0, okay, and it gets incremented for every step. This is how for every step, okay, for every instruction, these steps are done and the instructions are executed. And here in this chapter we have, okay, we are going to study the 3 types of instructions. We have discussed it in a table, correct? Yeah, these are the set of instructions a computer, basic computer has. These all memory reference instructions, and we have a set of register reference instructions and a set of input output instructions. So we are going to study all these 3 categories in detail. So first we learn about this register reference instruction. I have taken that register reference instructions here, okay. So what are the instructions that are performed on register, okay? There is no memory reference here. Clear the register accumulator, CLA, and clear the carry, okay, the flip-flop E. And CMA is to complement the accumulator, and CME is to complement register flip-flop E, and CIR, circulate right, AC and E. CIL is to circular shift left, INC is to increment AC, and all these 4 instructions are to skip the next instruction, okay, that depends on the content in AC. If AC is positive, means the leftmost bit of AC is checked. If the leftmost bit is 0, it is positive. If the leftmost bit is 1, it is negative. Okay, then these cases, these instructions, okay, are used to skip the next instruction. And SZA is to skip the next instruction if AC is 0, means all the bits are 0 in AC, okay, accumulator. Then the next instruction is skipped. And SZE is to skip the next instruction if E is 0. E is the carry bit, correct? The flip-flop that stores the carry, if that is 0, if carry is 0, skip the next instruction. And HLT is to halt the computer, okay, to stop the execution. These are all the register reference instructions. And we see how the execution of these instructions are done, okay. Register reference instructions are identified when D7 is 1, correct? D7 is 0 for memory reference instruction. D7 is 1 for register reference and IO instructions. Okay, so these are identified when D7 is 1 and I is 0. I is 1 for IO instructions. Okay, so when D7 is 1 and I is 0. And it is specified in B0 to B11 of IR, right? If you see the format of IR for register reference instruction, 0 to 11, it is not the address, it is the register operation, right? This is the register operation to be performed. And 12 to 15, we have this 111, all 3, the opcode is 111 and the last bit will be 0. Okay, this is the format of register reference instruction. So here the register reference instruction is specified in this part, 0 to 11 bits of this instruction, okay. And the execution starts with timing signal T3, correct? We have seen it here. Execution starts the fetch and decode, and the execution starts at, this is our register reference instruction execution. It is done at T3. And before this, these are the 4 paths, right? If you see this flow chart, to identify the type of the instruction, the control condition for these 4 paths, okay, the instructions take, can be symbolized as D7 dash I T3 to get this condition enabled, okay, all these bits need to be 1. And what is D7 here? Let's take this operation. AR is, this is done at D7 0, right? So when D7 is 0, we need to make it 1. So you complement D7 here, okay, D7 dash. And what is I here? The value of D7 is 0 and I is 1, okay, for this particular instruction. So here all these 4 paths, okay, the control condition for the 4 path the instructions take, okay, here can be symbolized as D7 dash, because D7 is 0, okay, for this particular AR is MAR. Okay, D7 dash and I is 1, we write I here, and the timing is T3, okay, at time T3. The operation performed is AR is moving the memory word from AR, right, from the address to register AR. This is the first control condition. And the second control condition for doing nothing, correct, when D7 is 0 and it is direct address, we don't have to fetch the address there. Okay, so the control condition is D7 dash I dash, because I is 0 here. D7 is 0, but I is 0. Okay, so but it has to be, the condition has to be 1 for this operation need to be performed. So I dash and time T3. Okay, we perform the second path is taken, that is performing no operation. And the third control condition can be symbolized as D7 is 1 here. Okay, so it is D7 and this execute register reference instruction. Okay, for that I is 0. So we write I dash at time T3. It is register reference instruction. Okay, and the fourth control condition is D7 is 1 and I is also 1. Okay, D7 I T3 at time T3. The operation performed is input output operation. Okay, it can be symbolized this way. The 4 paths the instruction takes, okay, for its execution is this. Okay, the control conditions are this. D7 should be 1 here. Okay, so we write D7 dash I is 1. Okay, D7 I T3 for performing the transfer of memory content to AR. Okay, and D7 dash I dash T3 for performing no operation when in case of direct address, and D7 I dash T3 for register reference instructions, and D7 I T3 for IO instructions. So here what is R is this, okay. Register reference instruction, what we wrote, the control condition is D7 I dash T3. The same thing is written here. D7 I dash T3. It is for the control condition for register reference instruction. So that is given as R here. Okay, in this table, if you see, R denotes this D7 I dash T3. And the other control condition is here the last bit is 7, right? If you see the instruction code for register reference instructions, 0 to 11, it is the register operations to be performed. And this is the opcode, 12 to 14, and 15th bit is here it is 111 and 0. Okay, and 0, 1, 1 is given as 7 here. Okay, so this is 7, and the bits 0 to 11, that is 12 bits are given as here it is 800 for the first operation, that is clear the content of accumulator. Okay, here clear the accumulator. The register operation is 800. It is a hexadecimal digits. These three are hexadecimal digits. Each digit represents 4 binary bits. Okay, 7 is 011, 0111. And what is this? 800. Okay, you convert to binary, hexadecimal to binary. It is, what is 8? It is 1000. Okay, this is 8. And 0 next. So 4 zeros. This is 0, and here this is 0. Okay. So we take these address, this register operation bits, okay, the 12 bits, 0 to 11, and BI is IR of I, okay, from the instruction register, the ith bit from 0 to 11, okay, is denoted as BI here. For the first operation, BI is this, okay, I is 11, because here it is 1, okay. This particular bit is 1, it is the 11th position, correct? 11th bit is 1. So it is B11, where I is equal to 11. And if you take the second operation, what is the second operation in this set? CLE. It is clear the flip-flop E. The operation, the instruction code is hexadecimal code for this instruction is 7400. When you decode it, let's leave the 7 now. We'll take the other the 12 bits only. We'll take the 12 bits. So if you decode this, okay, means if you convert to binary, 4 is 0100. Okay, this is 4, and then 0. This is 0, and this is 0. Correct? So here the second bit is 1. Okay, so here I will become, for the second operation, I will become 10, the 10th bit. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the 10th bit. So it is B10, okay, for the second operation. And now if you take the next operation, it is 200. What is 200? 2 is 0010, 0000, and again 4 zeros. This is 0, this is 0, this is 2. Okay, this is the hexadecimal code for the instruction for 0 to 11, 12 bits. Okay, so here ith bit is this, where there is 1. Okay, so we write B9 for the third instruction. Okay, that is what is BI here. BI is the ith bit, okay, where I is 0 to 11. Ith bit of IR, and that we include in this control condition. Okay, the control condition includes this R and BI. Okay, R is D7, I dash D3, and BI. Okay, BI is where I is 11 for the first instruction, CLA, and I is 10 for the second instruction, I is 9 for the third instruction. Okay, this is the control condition. And here is the operation or the symbol used. And this is the description or the micro operations performed, we can say. Okay, these are the micro operations performed for each instruction. Now let's take the first instruction, CLA. Okay, it is clearing the accumulator. What is the micro operation performed? How you write it? The control condition is RB11 because for the first instruction, 11th bit here, okay, it is 800. Okay, when we write the binary, it is the 11th bit is 1. So it is B11, okay, RB11, and Clearing the accumulator, AC is set to 0. We write the instruction, okay, transfer 0 to accumulator AC. All the bits of AC are set to 0, okay. It gets cleared. And for clearing the content of E, the operation is set 0 to E, okay, E is 0. And the next operation, CMA, what is this? Complement accumulator. So we write AC dash, okay, complement, or you can write AC complement. Okay, so once complement of the bits of AC are done, all the bits are inverted and get stored in AC. And CME is to complement E. Okay, so E dash. Okay, we perform the complement on the carry bit and get stored in E. And CIR is circulate write, correct? Circular write the content of AC. AC and E. Okay, so here is our accumulator. Okay, here are the bits. Let's say this is the 0th bit and this is the 15th bit. Okay, of AC. And this is E. Okay, this is E. And when you shift right, this bit moves out. Okay, as it is circular shift, this A0, okay, bit A0 to be moved to, should be moved to this E, right? Okay, so one operation is AC of 0 is stored in E. And E get moved to the 15th position in E, AC, correct? The bit in E gets moved to the 15th position. So we write, okay, move E to AC of 15th bit. And we perform shift right of AC this way. Okay, shift right of AC, performing the operation shift right. And finally you get the result stored in this. And the next operation is circular shift left. For circular shift left, what we do? We shift left the content of AC. So when you shift left, you get the 15th bit moved to E. Okay, AC of 15 is moved to E. And this E gets moved to AC 0. Correct? Accumulator 0th position will get the bit from E. Okay, and shift the other bits to left. Okay, so shift left AC. These are the micro operations involved in performing shift right and shift left. For shifting right, the content of E is moved to A15 and the bit 0, accumulator 0th bit is moved to E. And for shift left, the 15th bit is moved to E and E is moved to 0th position in AC. And increment is performing adding 1 to AC. So AC is AC plus 1. And SPA, this all skip, these 4 are the skip operations. Skip if the accumulator is positive. Okay. So we check the 15th bit of AC. 15th bit, the leftmost bit is the sign bit, right? That represents, okay, if the value stored in AC is positive or negative. If it is 0, we skip. How we represent that skip operation? By just incrementing PC by 1. Okay, so it will not point to the next instruction that is need to be skipped. It will be incremented and it points to the next operation. And skip the content if accumulator is negative. Okay, N, S and A is if the accumulator is negative. So we check the 15th bit of AC. If it is 1, we increment PC by 1. And the next one is skip accumulator if it is 0. So we check if AC is 0, then increment PC. Next operation is skip if E is 0. The content of E is 0. So we need to check the carry register E. Okay, the flip-flop E. If it is 0, then increment PC by 1. Moving to the next instruction. And HLT is to halt the execution. So what we do? To halt or to stop the execution, we need to set the start stop flip-flop. Okay, it reference when to start and where to stop. Okay, and it is stopped. Okay, we clear the content of this. We set 0 to this register. Okay, start stop flip-flop is set to 0. And it stopped the sequence counter also from counting. Sequence counter otherwise counts to, counts from T0 to, it increments by 1 every time. But when the instruction execution need to be stopped, it stopped counting. Okay, so that it will be set to 0. So this way the register reference instructions are executed. Okay, the conditions are D7 is 1 and I is 0. Okay, here we have shown the micro operations that are performed for every instruction. Any doubts?
Ma'am.